Scientists and students at Wageningen University work on the great challenges for mankind nowadays. Think of climate change. Climate change creates major risks for our possibilities to live a life in good quality. Or think of livestock farming. Livestock farming, specifically intensive livestock farming, comes with all kinds of problems for animal welfare, for creating also environmental problems, and it creates certain risks to public health with emerging infectious diseases. Or think of the many people living in hunger today, nowadays. I think some 840 million people live in hunger or undernourishment, whereas at the same time some 500 million people worldwide are obese. So some people have much too much and others have much too little in terms of food. Now these questions cannot just be resolved with science and with technology. These questions ultimately are issues which raise philosophical and ethical questions. How could we respond to these crises in a responsible way? How can we develop policies? How can we develop technologies which we can justifiably implement in a way that societies accept them and in a way that we can give arguments which will convince and persuade people who have initially second thoughts about that. Philosophy is not only about societal controversies, it is also about the basics of science, certainly how we do it here in Wageningen. If nowadays people can find information about all kinds of things on the internet, think of nutrition science for example, do we have reason to trust nutrition scientists and what they put forward more than, for example, whatever information about healthy food which you can find on the internet? That's not so obvious anymore. It seems sometimes as if science is just another opinion, one of the many opinions you can find. What philosophy does is to try to give us a picture of how to understand what good science is and why we have reason to trust good science more than whatever opinion of myself or other people. One of the things which is central to good science is that it involves critical reflection on its own assumptions. To give just one example, some scientists try to measure the effects of food on health, for example, or the effects on quality of life. And there are various ways to measure quality of life. But if you want to measure quality of your life, you first need to know and to understand what it is. What is quality of life? This again is a philosophical question, and philosophy has several answers to offer. A good scientist should be able to understand the different conceptions of quality of life and also to see the advantages or the shortcomings of those conceptions. And then it enables her to make a choice how to measure quality of life. So philosophy is about doing critical reflection. And critical reflection can be done in all kinds of styles. Some philosophers will be sort of taking often a position against new technologies, against new policies. Our approach is a bit different. We prefer to think along and think together with scientists, with policymakers, with professionals or students to develop arguments which can help people to make decisions, policies they can justify towards society.